Yeah, so these are some plants that were very kindly donated by two friends of the garden, Jack Johnston and John Toby. This guy here is an endangered species. This is Taxus floridana,
Really?
the Florida yew. This one's Stewartia malacodendron. A lot of these are pretty hard to find.
I've never even heard of that Stewartia.
Yeah, this is one of our native one of our two native Stewartias. There's this Stewartia malacodendron, and actually I have one here, but Stewartia ovata. They're more or less shrubs to small trees that get a little bit taller than this structure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was really important for me to kind of get shown the habitats for all these different species, because this represents a pretty wide swath of southern Appalachian and Florida coastal plain habitat. So their needs are going to be pretty diverse. Luckily here at the garden we have kind of a wide range of sunlight and soils and amounts of water. We have a stream here, which is great, and we have meadows and we have woods, so hopefully I'll be able to accommodate the needs of all these guys.
So are you thinking you're
garden.
actually going to plant these in the ground, or are you going to grow them in pots for a while?
So some of them I'll have to grow in pots for a while, like this one here is,
Little baby.
this is actually Chamaecyparis thyoides variety Henryi, so this is the southernmost kind of eastern white cedar, named for Mary Henry, the person who founded the place. So that's cool. We got 10 of those. Another endangered plant, one of the plants that the guy who gave it to me, Jack Johnston, is personally responsible for kind of ensuring the continued safety of, is this Torreya taxifolia. It's called the stinking cedar. And so I think he told me that there are 18 living plants in Georgia, wild plants, and I don't know how many in Florida. You'll find most of them at the Torreya State Park, but yeah, there are a couple of problems.
And there's one at Henry.
And there's what?
One at Henry.
Oh, well, there's actually, he gave me 10 of them, and we actually have 2 of them that Mary Henry collected way back when in, I think in the 50s. So hopefully we'll be able to kind of introduce some of the genetics that we have here at the garden, because we think that both of our trees are the same sex, so you need both a male and a female tree to make seeds. And we haven't had seeds in the past, so hopefully if we can grow these guys up and get a little population going, then we can start to get seeds and just add to the genetic diversity that we're trying to preserve. There's honestly such a wide variety of plants here that I am going to need to do lots of research on kind of the specifics of why it's so important that we keep on growing them. Like, I understand that it's important that we keep them going, and just the sheer kind of unusual nature, or maybe difficult to find nature, I should say, of some of the plants is interesting right off the bat. Like this one's here, Philadelphus hirsutus. It's a hairy mock orange, we have the Philadelphus lewisii here, the mock orange, and lots of people have that, but this one's, I'm told,
hairy,
very hard to find, and hairy. We've got Shortia galicifolia here. We've got, I think this is all Iris verna. This is a granite dome goldenrod, so that'll do well in our rock garden. It loves dry situations. This is, I'm told, quite a rare black-eyed Susan. It's Rudbeckia heliopsidis. Oh gosh, I forget the species name. Heliopsidis, yeah. And all these plants are grown from seed. Jack's a really great grower. This one here's very interesting bush. It's called Pieris filireifolia. It's called the climbing feather bush. So you might recognize Pieris as those mountain snowbells.
Like
a lot of
Pieris
people
japonica.
have. Yeah, like Pieris japonica.
So what's the difference with this?
So the difference is this is mostly just like a kind of a small shrub.
Okay.
Apparently, in the right situations, it'll form just a big heath shrub. It's kind of part of a heath shrub, which is a heath shrub is a collection of ericaceous plants. All plants from the family Ericaceae. They all love, acidic soils, and they'll all kind of form a really dense understory that shades out a lot of herbaceous plants, so they can really diminish biodiversity in areas where they're allowed to kind of get out of hand, and they get out of hand when fire is suppressed. So fire management is a really important thing, especially on like the coastal plains where I'm told a lot of the diversity is in the herbaceous layers, which can get smothered out. But anyways, what's special about this bush is that so it'll form a small bush, but if it's next to a bald cypress, or if it's next to a white cedar, two trees that get really furrowed bark that runs the length of the tree, then they'll work their way into the furrows and start climbing up, and put out leaves and flowers. So you'll see nice dangling flowers out well above the bushes.
Oh, we're all gonna want one now.
They're cool. They're cool. And we used to have this at the garden, and then it ended up dying. So hopefully I can find a good situation for it, and maybe I can even plant it, next to a plant that could accommodate its trailing or its climbing.